Project phases. Any type of project, whether it is infrastructure project, software development, or maybe construction related, it has to go through three key phases, which are called day 0, day 1, and day 2. Now, I'll take example of an infrastructure project in order to elucidate and provide more detail about what are these three phases or 3 days called. The first phase, which is called the day 0 phase, wherein the architects, network engineers, specialists, and all, they understand the overall setup. Let us say, in this case, we have site X, where there is a need in order to implement the infrastructure so that users can access the internet. Based upon that requirement, a planning happens. And with that, evaluating what is the existing infrastructure the customer may be having. So let's say in this case, it's a greenfield environment, so nothing which is existing, but all the things new have to be implemented here. And with that, we have to design also the solution where the router would be placed, switch, passive infrastructure, firewall, and then the internet also. Now, it is important to highlight that passive infrastructure is about the cabling, which is fiber cable or copper cable, and miscellaneous is about power supply, about rack space, and related thing, which will provide the connectivity to the all the infrastructure. This is day 0. Now, day 1, which is the next phase of a project, which primarily involves, rather, it is the moment of truth because the actual implementation of the hardware and connectivity takes place. So, it involves implementation of the internet, the cabling, the router, firewall, switches, and also the compute part of it, the laptops and desktops at the site. So that means it is not only installed, but configuration implementation is also done so that end-to-end communication and whatever the objective for this project was, it is performed in this phase. Once all this communication is happening, it is most important to verify and test the all the communication flow is happening perfectly without any errors, without any challenges, and there are no alarms. So that is also done as part of the day 1, wherein verification and testing of all the flows, of all the monitoring, everything is done in this phase. And now finally, the day 2 or the steady state phase of a project, which is the third phase, wherein the management and monitoring of all the assets, whether internet link is there, router, firewall, switch, or end devices, all are monitored and managed under a steady state. So basically, we have the team which is responsible for run and maintenance. It is also called BAU phase, which means business as usual, because now there is no more implementation and related things required. Only we have to maintain and maybe some break fix of all those devices which are in the infrastructure is required. Or maybe we are required to sometime optimize the infrastructure so that it is fine tuned to provide a value or to provide a better output. So this is about day 2. Now, if we combine everything here, the project phases that includes three phases: day 0, day 1, and day 2. As we earlier discussed, day 0 is about designing and discovering of the requirement and planning on that. Day 1 is when the implementation, configuration, installation of hardware, of assets takes place. And finally, day 2 is when we are running or operating, or it is also called steady state phase. And after the day 2, this is the end of the project. That is, it may continue maintaining and monitoring that network in day 2 phase for a very long time. I hope you like this video, and please Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you very much.